I think Amy Hines Real Talk is an important platform to have in this type of society that we live in 2020. I think it gives people an outlet to voice. One of the areas that I've noticed and what Amy's so good about is over the years she has a way to articulate. She comes from a place of just kind of purity, being able to express what she's come through over the years, her childhood into adulthood, the good, the bad, the ugly. And, she isn't afraid to share the mistakes, the areas where she's had to address in her own self and identify. And one of the great things about her, she has a high IQ with emotional intelligence. So she's able to take herself out of a situation and be able to identify it objectively.
Amy is powerful. The things that Amy has experienced in her life give so much depth to what she's saying. She's not just going to tell you that it's going to be okay and you'll be okay one day. Things will get better. She's really got experience behind it. She's been there. She's lived the life. She's lived in those dark moments. And she is better because of it. And if Amy can be better because of it, that means that I can be better because of it. You can be better because of it. There's no give up with Amy. She comes up to a roadblock or something where everyone, even the state of Utah, could tell her no, and Amy will find a way.
She is quite the fighter, and she has never given up. Through everything's against her. When you hear her story, as I'm sure you are, you can see that there's always a persistence. And so for me, there's an impact there in the encouragement of always persisting.
She wasn't just there in words. Amy, she'll put her actions right behind it and really show up for people. And she's going to see it through all the way to the end. And working with a lot of veterans, that was one of the most important things, was being able to see it through to the end. Amy made sure that not just that she would see things through to the end, but that all of us did.
She's chosen to partner to support us in some ways financially. Yes. And what that has meant to us in our ministry has been literally the thing that God chose to bring to us to allow me to dive into our ministry and quit working full-time as a nurse. And so because of Amy's sacrifice and prayers and intentionality and giving to us in our ministry, Jesus has been able to bring us to where we are now.
Shortly after we stopped working cases, or I stopped working cases with Battle Forge Nation, I was in the most difficult season of my life. And when I was the most alone, Amy was the one that showed up. Hearing exactly what you need to hear in the exact moment that you need it, in your darkest moments, maybe, where you're hanging on to whatever thread you've got left. And hearing it come from Amy, and not just the physical words, but then to have, her presence there and listening to the things that she has to share with you, listening to times that she's been through that have been difficult, and looking at her now and knowing, man, if she can get through that, I know that I can get through that too. That is so powerful. It is a defining moment of being able to kind of pull yourself up and say, I can do this. I can get through this, and I can be better on the other side of it.
She is a girl that has so much grit and tenacity that I don't think I've hardly seen anyone have.
She goes after life.
Yes.
Life is often in the hard. right? And the emotions you want to ignore, suppress, get rid of, not feel. And she chooses to feel those so that she can become healthy.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to address it, love it, and push into it.
That's right.
That's Amy.
And I think that's what's so great about Real Talk and the vision of Real Talk is it's going to encourage a generation of people to do that exact same thing. And that is where life is.
Yeah.
It's in the hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's not in choosing easy. And that's amazing.
And I think we live in a society now where seclusion is what people want. They don't want to talk about maybe their experiences in life, the good, the bad, the ugly as well, the traumatic experiences, the things that they're ashamed of, or maybe some bad choices that all affect us. We've all made those choices. And Amy's a great avenue, a great outlet to talk to that, because she thinks that any life experience can be used to teach, to be a tool for wisdom or to grow from, if you're willing to be brave and maybe take a look at your own life and your decisions and take responsibility for it.
Amy Hines is going to tell you some truth about what she experienced and how the world works. And it's important that we hear that and that we allow it to hit us and sink in. In a culture that's so worried about offense, it kills truth, because some truth cuts and some truth hurts. But if you don't accept that cut and the love that it came with, you can never get the healing you need, right? If you had a heart attack, that doctor is going to have to cut you right down the center and open you up. And if he doesn't do that, you're going to die, right? And so sometimes we need to be cut. And I think that Amy Hines' Real Talk is a powerful way to love people well.
One of the great things about, Amy is just she's very purpose-driven throughout all of the hardships of childhood into adulthood, and she wants to give back any which way she can, and even using the bad to create beauty for ashes, so to speak. And one of the ways that she's done that is not just in people that she encounters lives, but prison ministry is an outlet to be able to share to some of these prisoners how she grew up very identical, and they can relate to that, but to see that she has not become a statistic.
Hardships bring wisdom, and Amy Hines has a lot of wisdom.
If you really listen to the stories that Amy has and the things that she's experienced, and you take a look at also all of her accomplishments, where she is right now, the things that she's taken away from each of those experiences, you know that it really can happen for you. It really can be better for you.
The Bible says that what we reap, we will sow. And she's sharing with you what she reaped, what she sowed, and how she replanted her life in a lot of ways to sow different fruit than she sowed before. Fruit that brings life as opposed to fruit that brings death.
It's not just surface level. It's not just BS talk. It really is real. It really is. She's going to keep it real for you.